Hey guys, it's Tim.
That was really loud in my ears.
Yeah,
I'm here too.
there's my wife. She's beautiful, sitting over there looking all pretty. It is the Dreaming of Disney podcast. We are recapping our Disney World trip. We just did Magic Kingdom last week. We're getting into Hollywood Studios today.
That was day 2.
Day 2.
Yep.
And pretty sure that was a better day.
It was a better day. It was definitely a better day. We got a lot of sleep. Not a lot, but way better sleep.
Yeah,
The second
Georgia
night.
actually slept all night.
She slept all night. And there's like this big block of time from that day that I don't remember. But I know it was better. I know it was better. I haven't. So we recorded this. This is another one we recorded about almost 2 months ago now, because we recorded it pretty much right after we got back. And I haven't listened to it. I feel like we were negative again. I feel like there were things that we were negative about. And like I was just telling you earlier, like the farther away we get from the stress of the trip, the more I'm like, oh, I want to go back. Like, that was fun. Again, it doesn't take like Disneyland's place for me at all. Like, Disneyland is still my favorite. But yeah, you and I talk about going just us, and I'm like really looking forward to that. Like, I want to try it again.
Yeah.
I think for first timers, it's just, even if you go to Disneyland all the time, I think it's going to be overwhelming. And we did it with 4 kids. So, and it's just, there's so much to do. It's so much bigger. There's just a lot more. And so,
Yeah, and I think with Hollywood Studios, we were comparing it to California Adventure because that's the closest thing you can compare it
and
to.
not like purposefully,
No.
just like comparisons naturally come up. And it was, yeah, like we didn't do that as much, like Animal Kingdom and Epcot, we didn't, because there's nothing like that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we'll get right into it. So we're going to go recap our day at Hollywood Studios, our day 2 of
6.
6.
We had 6 park days. We had a rest day.
That's right.
And these are the only 2 that we pre-record. We recorded when we first got home, Magic Kingdom Day and Hollywood Studios Day. And so now, after this, we'll be recording us talking about our other days, and we're a little farther out, so we'll see how much we can
Our third day was
remember.
Epcot, right?
No, third day was Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. That's right. Yeah.
Third day was Animal Kingdom, and then the rest day, Epcot. Then we did a park hop day. We did Hollywood Studios in the morning, Epcot at night, and then the last day we did Magic Kingdom again.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll combine, like the next episode after this will be our Animal Kingdom and Epcot day, because we can easily combine that, and probably even talk about our rest day in the middle.
Yeah. I'm interested to talk about Epcot because I didn't tell you this, but one of my coworkers just went to Disney World for the first time, and they were asking me, like, because they go to Disneyland all the time, and so they went to Disney World, and they don't have kids, and so they went to Epcot. Epcot was like their first day, and they posted a reel on Instagram of all like they eating their way around Epcot, drinking,
Which is what I wanted to do.
and I was like, that's such an adult thing to do, and I was just laughing because it's like we rushed through the World
my gosh.
Showcase so fast.
Well, it also, okay, spoiler alert, it also, in the middle of us walking through, there was like a 15-minute downpour.
Yeah,
And then there was like a
nowhere.
couple-minute break where it stopped, and then it started again. So, and we had 4 kids, so yeah.
and I was on a scooter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Not
we'll
jazzy.
we'll get into that day, but that's the park I'm looking forward to probably most when we go just us,
Yeah, me too.
because there's a lot where I'm like, this is not interesting for kids, but we would have really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So I mean that will come up. Our
Yeah.
feelings about that, but
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah. So
Yeah.
I just want to, disclaimer that if we're negative, we recorded this right after all the stress of the trip. So the day went better. I do, if I recall, there were like definite ups and downs, some things that we were looking forward to that like didn't quite happen. So yeah, but overall, it was a better day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into Hollywood Studios. Also, follow us on Instagram, dreaming.of.disney.podcast on Instagram. Also, leave us a review wherever you listen to us.
Yeah.
Whether it's iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google. Leave a review. Don't just leave the stars, but actually write something. Yeah. Make it good. So,
we would very much appreciate
it. Maybe we'll give you a shout out too. So, all right. Going on to Hollywood Studios, day 2 of Walt Disney World trip. First day Magic Kingdom was a little bit of a letdown. May have been a little negative on that.
It was a bumpy start.
When you're traveling with 4 kids, one of them being an infant and a 5-year-old.
Flying across the country.
Who has feelings, lots and lots of feelings.
He feels strongly about things.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a rough day. I had high expectations, and I was let down. But we all got a good night's sleep. We all slept great at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Slept through the night. Baby slept through the night. Woke up, and it was Hollywood Studios Day.
Which, starting off, getting to the bus, there wasn't as many people waiting. And also, we were pleasantly surprised when it only took about 10 minutes to get there, as opposed to almost 30. So, that made it nicer. And just walking in, I got excited because, outside the bus stop, you see the Skyliner, and that was like one of the things I really wanted to do, which is kind of funny because it's not like a ride or anything, but I just really wanted to ride the Skyliner, so I was excited to see it. So I was excited going into Hollywood Studios because while it seems like it has a similar feel to California Adventure, it still was a different park, than we have. So I was excited walking into it. We did the magic hour again. I feel like this day I'm looking at my pictures at the time. So we're walking in at 8:26 and magic hour starts at 8:30. So yeah, we were doing good for magic hour. Barely a line, walked right in. I will say, walking right in Hollywood Boulevard, it's a close feel to California Adventure. But again, like we were talking about in our last one when we were recapping Magic Kingdom, a lot of the things that we feel like kind of have a better feel or a better ride in California, it's newer. So California Adventure, they redid in 2000. Don't tell me. I'm thinking. I gotta think. Noah was a baby. 2013? 2012, 2013 that they redid, like the entry to California Adventure.
Yeah.
Made it like old Hollywood. And so it is newer. So a similar feel to that. So yeah. So you had gotten up early. We had purchased Mickey and Minnie. Well, first we got Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah.
Which was just Genie Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Got Slinky Dog Dash.
And I did that right at 7 a.m. And we still got evening time.
Yeah, it was like 6 or 6:30 return time for PM, obviously, for Slinky Dog Dash, which kind of stunk because then again, you can't make your next selection until 2 hours after park opening. So we couldn't churn them. But so then we purchased Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And that was at 10:30, 10:40, something like that.
Yeah.
So we had some time to try to rope drop something.
Which was Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run. You just took the boys
Yeah.
because I've been on it several times. While I really like it, I didn't feel the need to take the time to do a rider switch since Georgia can't ride it.
She also took a nap at that time.
Well, not yet. She was awake.
She was awake?
When you guys ran to it, she was awake, and I said, just go ahead and do it.
Oh, okay.
Because with you and the boys, that makes 4. It's even in number, I mean. And I've been on it, and it's just like there was other things in Hollywood Studios that we don't have in California. And so I just didn't feel like it's not like one where I'm like, I really want to ride it, so let's take the time to do a rider switch. I felt like I could skip it. So while you guys did that, what was the wait? You guys... It wasn't a very long wait, was it?
It was like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So that was right at rope drop.
Yeah.
Which there was like a huge mass of people running towards Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, they were going towards Rise.
Yeah.
And that quickly ballooned to, I think it was like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to figure out how to get there. Because I didn't.
It's backwards.
It's backwards compared to Disneyland. Whereas, at Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge is on the north side of the park. Hollywood Studios, Galaxy's Edge is at the south side of the park. So when you look at the map, it's flipped. And so trying to figure out how to get around, obviously, and that's one thing we noticed with Hollywood Studios. There's all these weird little back alleys.
Yeah, like dead ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so trying to figure out which way to go.
I just followed the crowd. I was like, look at all those people. Let's go that way.
Yeah.
Like, I figured all those people were going towards Galaxy's Edge or Slinky Dog Dash, and I knew which way that was. So, well, I kind of did. I'm looking at the map. But
We
yeah.
ended up going through Toy Story Land and going that way.
Which is not the way I went. Because I started walking to Galaxy's Edge too once we separated, and I thought I was just following you guys. And then
Yeah, you went on the other side towards Rise.
I went on
Resistance.
the Rise of the Resistance side. I just walked in there for a minute. Decided, I was going to try to get Georgia to sleep, and then I decided to go get coffee. So, yeah. So I walked around with Georgia, I didn't realize it was the Starbucks until I got in there. I was like, oh, good, it's Starbucks. And decided to get us coffee.
Yeah.
Or I stole somebody's coffee.
That's right.
I took somebody else's coffee. I felt bad. But yeah, so then you guys got out. I got Georgia to sleep. Or no, I met you guys in Toy Story Land, I think, right? I don't know
You
where I
met
met
there,
you.
and then
No, I met you. I can't remember. But is that when we did Saucers? Yes. So Georgia wasn't asleep yet. She was tired. She was getting fussy. You took her to get her to sleep, and I took the boys. We walked through Toy Story. We met right outside of Toy Story Land, I think. And I took the boys on the alien swirling saucers. That wait, I think it said 40, or I think it said 30 or 40 minutes, and we got in like 20. It wasn't a bad wait. They had some like little things, drums and turns and knobs and stuff that they could do, and you're kind of moving the whole time. So that ride, it's kind of like Mater's Jamboree, but Toy Story. That was good.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun at night because I think it the lights up and stuff. It was fun. I will say, I don't want to keep saying this, but Mater's Jamboree whips you around more.
Yeah.
You go faster. But again, I'm assuming, I don't know, I'd have to look it up, that I wonder if Mater's Jamboree is newer. Because Cars Land is pretty new, but I don't know how old Toy Story Land is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
Find out real quick.
yeah, but it was fun. I mean, we had a good time. It's nice because older boys, are over 7, so they can ride together. So if you don't know, if 7 and under has to have, or is it 7 and older can ride?
Uh,
If you're 7, you can ride alone, I think. Or maybe it's 8. No, I think it's 7.
I think it's 7.
So
Yeah.
7 and up, you can ride alone or with another kid that's 7 or up.
Yeah.
If you're under that, you have to ride with someone at least over 14.
Mm-hmm.
So, them being 8, which he was almost 9, and 11, they could always ride together. So that made it nice. And so then me and Boston were on. And they had fun. I mean, they all agreed, like, oh yeah, Mater's kind of is a little faster and whips you around a little more. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Toy Story Land, it opened June 30th, 2018.
Oh, no
So,
way.
yeah.
It's that new?
Yeah, it's newer. So,
It's only like, 2? Almost 2.5 years old.
yeah.
Really?
Almost 3, yeah.
So because they had a Toy Story Land in Disneyland Paris, so that's older.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that new.
But,
No wonder it's so busy still, and trying to get Slinky Dog Dash is like
Yeah,
super
that
hard.
makes
That
sense.
makes a lot of sense. It's like pretty. It's very
Cars
new.
opened up mid-2000s.
2000. It was open by the time Noah, or were they working on it when Noah was a baby? I'd say around 2013 or so.
2012.
Oh, hey, pretty close.
So it's
Because
opened
Noah's
5 years before.
Because Noah's first trip to Disneyland, I remember riding racers. And that was in 2013. Noah's first trip. So, but anyways, yeah. So, but it was fun. So then we met you. It was almost time for Mickey and Minnie's. So we met you in front of Grandma's Chinese Theater. And I think she woke up. I fed her. Yeah, we walked over, had a snack, fed the baby, and then it was time for Mickey and Minnie's.
Yeah.
We had, like I said, we had purchased individual lightning lane for that. Pretty much walked right on.
Yeah.
We waited
yeah.
like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it was real quick.
So that was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun little ride.
Yeah.
The whole trackless, Rise of Resistance, obviously, without if you haven't ridden Rise of Resistance, cover your ears. Without spoiler alert, without the the drop and the Star Tours-esque part of the ride.
Spoiler.
I know.
Mickey
Well,
and
hey, I
Minnie's.
made.
But Mickey and Minnie's is coming to Disneyland, so I'm excited because I mean it wasn't like my favorite, but it would be a fun one to do again.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I missed parts of it.
I read a report on one of the Disney blogs. I forget which one it was, but the version that's coming to Disneyland is supposedly supposed to have some enhancements compared to
really?
the one in Disney World.
Because it's pretty new. It just opened.
Opened
right
up
before COVID, I think.
Yeah, it's relatively new.
Yeah.
And so when they're redoing Toontown at Disneyland, they're going to be bringing this
Yeah.
there, and it's supposed to have more rooms because you go from room to room. They're supposed to have, I think, like 5 more rooms.
Oh wow.
So it's supposed to be bigger and longer.
A longer ride, yeah.
Because apparently there was a ride before in the Chinese theater building.
Oh.
It was called like the movie ride or something like that. I don't know what it was. So they were limited in what they could do in that building. But in that sense, in Toontown, they're building a building specifically for this ride. They're able to do more. But yeah, so we went on it. It was fun. It was cute. It broke down on us, though.
But it broke down as we were ending.
Yeah.
So the lights came on, but we were pretty much at the end.
Yeah.
We had to wait a while. What, like 10 minutes or so?
I want to say it was closer to 20 minutes.
No.
It felt pretty long.
But they had to go all the way. They worked their way from like the middle or from the beginning of the ride to the end of the ride, letting everyone out of their cars. Yeah. So we were the last car before the end of the ride. So we were the last to get out. But it was fine. It was funny because we were in a car, all just, our family, and we're all like just talking and like joking around and stuff. And every car I looked behind us, every single person in the 2 cars behind us, in every row, were all on their phones.
Yeah.
It was like silent except for us.
Yeah, we were the only people talking.
And every single person was on their phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, talk to the person next to you." Like, go on. But what was neat is that, you break down on a ride and they give you an automatic, like a free Genie Plus
Yeah.
to any ride that
Let's just call it a fast pass because that's what it is.
fast pass to any ride that has the Lightning Lane. And I was kind of thinking we want to get it because we had finished the ride,
Yeah.
but they gave it to us, so that was cool
Yeah.
because we still got to do the ride.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was fun. I'm excited that one's coming. The boys liked it. So then after that, what did we do?
We went to the Indiana Jones show.
Was that right after that?
Yeah. So that was at 11:54.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
So I was really excited about that because I've seen just how historic this show is and how popular it is. So I was excited to do that. I work doing take your drink.
I'm thirsty.
If we have any Lost fans listening, you'll know this reference. Big Lost fan. So that was a whiskey. Actually, it's whiskey and Coke. But if you know Jack's dad, Jack Shepherd's dad.
Jack Shepherd. Anyways, this is not a Lost podcast.
We're going off. We got to go back. Anyways, Indiana Jones show. So, I work at a TV station. I did a story on a local family that supposedly has the largest man cave in the world, and is themed after Indiana Jones, and they love the Indiana Jones show at Disney World, and they themed it after that. So it was.
Oh, they themed it after the show.
They
I
themed
just
it
thought it
after
was
the
after
show.
the movie.
No, after the show.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Because the company that built it was like, what do you like? And they're like, well, we like the Indiana Jones show at Disney World. And they're like, okay, we'll go with that. And so they built this huge, it's like a warehouse that they themed after Indiana Jones. They have like a big truck that's hanging from the ceiling going over like a fake bridge, and they have like the ruins and the village and all that kind of stuff built into this. So I was always interested in the show, but also after doing that story, I was like, oh, I want to see the show. So we go to the show, and they tell us that it's not working.
Yes, most of their stunts.
The mechanisms where they're having technical difficulties, so they were only able to do the first act, the part with in the ruins,
which lasted
like 5 minutes,
maybe. So that was a disappointment.
Yeah,
but we were either going to try again later that day, but we also had another day in Hollywood Studios, so we knew that if we didn't catch it this first day, that we were going to come back for at least half a day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we did the first act of that. That was fun. That was cool. At least that part got us excited.
We had gotten a Genie Plus for that too.
Yeah. So we walked right in on that. And then right after that, we had lunch, which was at the what was that place called? It's right next to it. It's like the back lot.
It was back a little ways. It was right next to Star Tours.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we checked in to Indiana Jones, we were able to make another Genie Plus selection.
Mm-hmm.
Did we do the Frozen Ever After show or the Mickey and Minnie? No, the Mickey.
No, we did the Frozen sing along.
Yeah.
We got a Genie Plus for that, and
which is the same one that was in California Adventure back in 2014, 2015.
Exactly the same.
It's exactly the same. When they had it in California and they had like the snow play area, it was so great. That was such a great thing
That was
they
the
had
height of
going on there.
Frozen fever.
Oh, it was so great. And they had the sing along for a little bit longer, even when they got rid of the snow play area. But I think it's a pretty permanent fixture in Hollywood Studios and
Yeah, it
Walt
seems
Disney
like it.
World. So I had loved that, and really wanted to take, even though she's a baby and has never seen Frozen and doesn't know it. But at the time we saw it in California, I was like, oh, I wish I had a daughter to take this to. So now that I do have one, I wanted to take her to it. So
You did.
I did. She was scared,
Yeah, she cried.
but I really like the Frozen sing along. I sing very loudly. So we did that.
So that was at looks like around I think probably like 3:30. We did that. Yeah, it was at
Really?
3:30.
You
Yeah.
have a picture of the Frozen sing along?
Yeah, I do have
Oh,
a
okay.
video.
So you guys had done Star Tours in between that though, because I have the picture that you took of the boys in front of Star Tours at one.
Yeah, so we did Star Tours. That's right. So
After
after lunch,
lunch.
we did Star Tours. It was like a 15-20 minute late wait. Apparently, Disney World Star Tours is not very popular.
It
So
was always a low wait.
it was
Yeah.
always low wait. That's always one that we always go to at Disneyland. The boys love it. Regularly gets not super long at Disneyland, but it can get like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's not very popular at Disney World.
So you guys did that. I just walked down Sunset Boulevard. I wanted to do some shopping, which I didn't find anything, but
Yeah, I have a picture here. Star Wars, the screen by the Frozen sing along. They had all the wait times.
Oh,
That
okay.
big screen. Rise
Yeah.
of Resistance at that time was 125 minutes,
wow.
which it was actually. I think it peaked while we were there, like 195.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So yeah, we did Star Tours, and then we had
Frozen
sing along
sing-along.
at 3:30.
Which
and
we had
then-
walked down. We had walked down Sunset Boulevard, and we weren't going to do Tower of Terror just because it was always a really long wait. None of the boys wanted to do it, so it would be single rider for you and I. And it was like, okay, we've done that so many times.
Yeah.
Like in California Adventure, and then now Guardians of the Galaxy. Like we can skip that one. We tried to do. Oh, I got some ice cream. That's right. We got treats.
Yeah. We went to.
We tried to do single rider of Rock and Roller Coaster because we've never obviously done that one. That's something we don't have. But because the standby was so long, they had closed the single rider
Yeah.
line. So we walked all the way down there. And I wish we would have done the Beauty and the Beast show, but at that point, we just weren't. The boys weren't feeling another show because somewhere in there too, we did the Mickey and Minnie's Vacation short thing.
Yeah.
So they were kind of wanting to ride a ride or something. So we just didn't do that. Walked back, sing along. What did we do after the sing along? My evening for Hollywood is like fuzzy. I know we had Slinky Dog at 6 or 6:30.
So I have after sing along, it was like 4:00, and then I have a video of us sitting by Star Tours.
Oh, it's your phone. I'm like, what is that noise?
We ate dinner at the same place we had lunch because we just didn't know where to go.
Right,
we're
which
like-
I didn't realize that because I packed my lunch and two of the boys.
Yeah.
I packed some lunches that day,
Yeah.
which if you listen to the last one, our fridge had broke, so our food went bad, so we couldn't pack lunches for everyone, blah, blah, blah. But I was trying to save some money.
Yeah. So we made peanut butter and jelly for the ones that like it.
Yeah. And so I didn't realize where we were eating, that it was the same place. But yeah,
Yeah.
so we sat for a while.
So
Then we headed to Slinky Dog.
yeah. So we ate dinner. Oh, and then we were like we had those fast passes.
Oh, that's right.
And so or
That was after
excuse
Slinky
me,
Dog.
Genie Pluses.
We used it after Slinky Dog.
We used what we did. We waited until Toy Story Mania was after Slinky Dog, so that way we could do it right after Slinky Dog. And
Yeah.
so that's what we did. We got
Yeah.
Genie Plus for Toy Story Mania.
Yeah. So we did Slinky Dog Dash, which did not disappoint. It was
No, that
fun.
was really fun.
It was really fun. The boys were super excited, which I was excited about because they are recently, especially the oldest, who was always like
terrified of roller coasters is like getting into them and loving them. So that was super fun. So yeah, that was great. So we did that. Then yeah, we walked over to Toy Story Mania, which that was a bit of a longer wait for Lightning Lane. That was maybe one of our longest waits in
They
the Lightning
only
Lane.
had 2 ride vehicles going at a time.
So four.
So four groups of 2 going at a time, whereas Disneyland has like a whole bunch. They have like I think I want to say like 8 rows going at a time or something like that.
Which maybe it was.
It may have been down.
I don't know. Like some of the rides too felt like when you get towards the end of the queue that it was like the backside of it, or like a secret like a secret entrance of it. Like it didn't feel like the main. When we got up to the end of the Toy Story Mania queue, it felt like it was like not the main one.
Yeah.
Like this was like an offside one that they do like for extra or people that get to go through the exit, you know, like it didn't feel like the main one. And so I'm still like, was that the main one? Or was that like backup for if they have some cars that aren't working? I don't know. It just felt a little odd. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That queue goes way back. Way
Yeah,
back.
it was like we're going deeper and deeper into the bowels of Andy's room.
Yeah. But that was the same. That was the exact
same.
The ride is
Yeah.
the exact same. So
Yeah.
that was great. That's one of our favorites. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I missed the midway theme of Pixar Pier.
This was more Andy's room.
More Andy's
because
room.
you walk when we got up to the front, I think it's like you're under Andy's bed.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like
Yeah.
it's like a big old bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just like a different theming.
But there was no Mr. Potato Head where he like talks to you.
No, which I mean, let's be real though. Mr. Potato Head's kind of down like half of the
I
time.
know it's never working at Disneyland.
But yeah.
But
Never
yeah,
disappoints.
so
Great one. We all loved it.
yeah.
And we had said after Slinky Dog, and after the late night at Magic Kingdom before that we're gonna do Toy Story Mania. We're gonna get a treat. We're gonna leave.
Yeah. Which
There
we
was no
did.
nighttime show
Yeah.
at Hollywood, so we felt like good about that.
So I was disappointed because I know in the past they had a really cool Star Wars show.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that was only during, because I know they do like Star Wars, like they do a lot for Star Wars Day on May 4th. I don't know if that's just a Star Wars Day thing, or if that's a regular thing.
Oh, yeah, that would have been cool. The boys would have loved it.
Yeah,
You would have loved it, obviously.
but they also had like they do like a projection show on the Chinese theater.
I saw something today, I think, on Instagram that like the shows, if you will, that we saw that were projected on, oh gosh, what's it called? Mission Space? Is that what the ball is called in Epcot?
Oh, Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth and the Tree of Life are for the 50th.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, I didn't know if they did that all the time. Like if there were always light shows on Spaceship Earth and on the Tree of
Yeah,
Life.
each
I didn't
park
know.
has it. So, obviously Magic Kingdom is the castle. Hollywood Studios is
Chinese theater?
no, it's Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror, that's right.
Animal Kingdom's Tree of Life, and then Epcot is Spaceship Earth.
Yeah. But I didn't realize that it was just for the 50th. Yeah. But anyways. So yeah. Got a treat, found some churros. Churro is like our everyday treat. Like, and it's funny.
I can't believe how hard it was
It
to
was
find a
super,
churro.
not as many churros in Walt Disney World. And it was funny because earlier in the day, we were just walking through somewhere and there was someone behind me and the daughter was asking the mom, she wanted a churro. And the mom was like, I know, honey, like, where are the churros? It's not like Disneyland where they're like on every corner. And I turned around and I was like, seriously, where are our churros? So I found a fellow Disneylander and we were wanting more churros, but we found them. We had to ask a cast member,
Yeah.
like, where are churros?
They have popcorn like on every corner.
Yeah, lots of popcorn, which is similar, but
Yeah.
like it was hard to find churros.
I want churro.
You don't want, like, everywhere you go, you smell churros. And
Where are the churros?
where are the churros?
That's it.
They had an Office reference.
Yeah.
They had
Except he says, "Where are the turtles?" But
they had a 50th like sprinkle and glitter, or what did he call it, razzmatazz or something like that.
something like that. With the, yeah.
Churro, which I got that, which was good. It just kind of had like a frosting on it.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. But I don't know if I want to say my opinion on the churro.
We're not trying to bag on Disney World, but it's just
They
like
weren't as good.
they weren't as good. It
Which
was
I
like,
will say, Disney World has some awesome treats, like really great treats that Disneyland does not have, and I feel like there's a lot more food options, a lot more food options, but the churros were as good. Like,
no, it was.
they just weren't, and they were good. I mean,
They
churros was good.
didn't. I saw they don't make them fresh there.
Oh.
Like at Disneyland, they have the little mechanism that they put them in the fryer and they drop into the cinnamon sugar mixture and they toss them around and they hand them to you.
And
They were
feel
like
hot.
they were in a just like a little warmer.
They weren't. They
thing.
definitely were not as hot.
No,
Because when you get a churro at Disneyland, like you can't eat it right away. You
Yeah.
gotta let it cool for a minute.
yeah. So they're like reheated. So I just don't think they're as
They
popular.
weren't as fluffy, and they were skinnier.
Yeah, they were smaller.
Yeah.
They weren't as crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. They were just kind of almost stale.
They weren't stale. They weren't bad.
I mean, they weren't bad. They were still tasty,
It's
but
just,
it could also be. I know that they've been having a hard time with COVID, and like some of
True.
their suppliers have gone out of business because it relied on Disney, and
because
they
I
come
heard
back.
things like Blue Bayou, like I read things that they weren't. Some of the dishes there weren't as tasty as before.
Yeah.
So that's in Disneyland. But
So that could be it too.
anyways,
Give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got treats and we headed back to the hotel and called it a day early. I think it was around 8:00.
yeah,
left?
it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, we actually didn't again do a lot.
Yeah.
So what this day was definitely better. It we still didn't do a whole lot.
No.
Again, like missing the quick rides that you
Yeah.
can do. That's like a 10-minute wait
Well,
while you're waiting for your next return time.
California Adventure has like those the kid area. They have like the
like the
jellyfish,
boardwalk. Oh,
the
yeah,
jellyfish, and they have the swings.
It's usually pretty. It can get kind of high, but
Yeah.
it's usually pretty low. I feel like Inside Out isn't usually that high. Ariel's usually not that high,
Yeah.
and Ariel moves so fast. So even if it is a longer wait,
You know it's
just,
a busy day if it's over 10 minutes.
I don't know. We usually do Ariel like kind of early, so later in the day it can get longer. But again, you're constant because I've had it where they take you all the way down in the queue, like almost by the like that hot dog stand. It's like you walk all the way down. But it's like you're constantly moving, so it doesn't feel long. And again, nothing really like that. Alien swirling saucers, I think was the shortest one.
Yeah.
And it was 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and space or Star Tours was a shorter wait time than like most of them. But yeah, so didn't get like there's like the Muppets 3D we didn't do.
Mm-hmm. We didn't do anything Galaxy's Edge. We just went to do Smuggler's Run and we left. I wanted to get a lightsaber, but the line was like out the door of the shop there. And apparently it's very popular and they like limit how many people are in there because it can get pretty crowded. and so I didn't even try. I didn't get a lightsaber, so
No,
not this
I
trip.
didn't get my Dooney and Burke.
No.
I wanted the Dooney and Burke, the Disney World 50th Dooney and Burke bag, which they have one, but then they had, that's like has Mickey and Minnie on it or something, but there was another one with the castle on it. By the end of our trip, I asked a cast member, and she was like, "Oh, that sold out like right away, like
Yeah.
when the 50th started, like in October." And now they're going on eBay for like $700. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, that was, I mean, pretty, I mean, but overall impression, Hollywood Studios. So we don't have, I mean, I guess California Adventure is similar to it, at least
Similar,
the
but
Hollywood
like,
side.
right, because obviously Galaxy's Edge is in Disneyland. They have a Toy Story Land. I do wish we had a Toy Story Land. Obviously, we all love Toy Story. You and I loved it when we were kids. Our boys have all gone through a big Toy Story phase. I'm hoping Georgia does as well. So huge fans of Toy Story. So I do really wish. I mean, we have Toy Story Mania, and then Buzz is in Disneyland. But yeah, really wish that we had a Toy Story Land because I do love that. But we have I love Cars Land. You know, we have Cars Land. I love Cars Land.
So if you had to pick
Oh,
Toy Story Land or
no,
Cars Land,
no.
which one?
Because, well, out of our whole family, being you and I and the children, I am probably the biggest Cars fan. Not more than Toy Story. I just mean, like, if you're just talking about Cars and the six of us, who's the biggest Cars fan? It would be me. I love Cars. Movie got me through a very difficult period of time in my life. I watched it. I had moved out on my own, and I watched Cars like every single day. It was just happy. It just made me happy. I love Cars.
Except when they make the interstate and then bypasses Radiator Springs.
It makes me cry. Oh, when they would play, when COVID happened and Disneyland closed, and there was like montages to that song going through empty Disneyland. It still makes me cry just thinking about it. And Disneyland's open. I can't pick between Toy Story and Cars. Like they're both. Racers is amazing, and going down Radiator Springs, especially at night, is so great. But I love
I love Toy Story. I am much more into Toy Story than I am Racers. But if you have to compare the lands together, you can't. Cars Land is like
comparing the lands, not
lands.
Whether you would want a Toy Story Land or a Cars Land. Comparing the two that are already existing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you had to pick the two, but I would pick Cars Land, even though I am more of a Toy Story aficionado.
Aficionado? Can you just say fan? You're more of a Toy Story fan.
But
I do love the
theming of Cars Land at Disney's California Adventure is second to none.
It's so
Probably
good.
second only to Galaxy's Edge.
I mean, when you
Galaxy's Edge is amazing.
well, yeah, okay. But Racers, it's like when you go on Racers and the start, when it's slow and you just feel like it's just so good. I will say though, I feel like we weren't able to give Toy Story Land a good enough chance because it was packed. Every time we walked through, it was packed.
Yeah.
So like looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, they had like the lights overhead, and like I hear Woody's Lunchbox has an amazing grilled cheese.
Yeah, I recommended that for dinner, but
What?
yeah,
I don't remember
we
that.
should do that. But I think there was just it
was a long mobile order or something like that. I don't know, but I would like to try that in the future if we ever go in. So I feel like I feel like at night it could be really cool. We were like there at night, but we pretty much we went from Slinky Dog Dash right across to Toy Story Mania, and then we left.
Yeah.
It was so crowded. I didn't feel like we could just like sit and take it in ever, because it was very, very crowded, and it's very skinny through there. The whole land, it's pretty small. I wish it was wider and more spread out, because I feel like you think of how many times we go to Disneyland, so we pick up on all the little things to the side. Oh, look at that cart here, or look at that stand here, or look at this here. Where it being your first time, you miss so much.
That's
And
true.
it was really crowded. And we are still, even though we decided to do this, we're very safe as far as being concerned with COVID. So it's like, if an area was super, super crowded, we didn't want to spend a whole lot of time there. So it's like we were kind of like walking through there to get to a ride and getting out.
Yeah.
Where if it wasn't as crowded and we could give it more time and just like hang out in Toy Story Land, you know, I wish we could have done that.
Yeah.
But I also think that, yeah, it could be, I wish it was bigger. Even if they didn't have more, just more spread out, not so cramped in there. Because I think we would have had a better, not that we had a bad impression at all. We all really liked Toy Story
Yeah,
Land, but I
yeah.
think it would have been higher up on our list. But yeah, because Cars Land is just, they did,
Super
they,
fun.
that was my phone.
Yeah.
They just did an awesome job. So I just want both. I want both. I want California Adventure to get Toy Story Land.
It reminded me of A Bug's Land.
It did, yeah, with like the lights. Because I feel like when you walked through to the beginning of A Bug's Land, there were lights and stuff.
They have
I
lights.
miss
They,
Bug's
they
Land. It
have
was
the
great.
little lights, and then you shrink down to the size of a bug.
Yeah,
And,
we were big fans of Bug's Land.
yeah.
So yeah, I really like Toy Story Land. Galaxy's Edge is the same. I prefer Hollywood Boulevard, that whole area. I definitely prefer in California Adventure. I wasn't like super impressed with it. Sunset Boulevard, it was really hot that
It was
day.
hot
It was
that
warm
day.
that day, so that was all in the sun. So we kind of
Yeah.
like rushed through that too. The like Echo Lake area was just kind of
That was over by Indiana Jones.
Right,
Yeah,
with the
it's kind of-
dinosaur.
yeah, I was like, that's
it
kind
was
of
kind
random.
of like a so yeah, I mean cool parts.
Yeah.
Some good rides, Mickey and Minnie's, Slinky Dog.
We did see amazing hot dogs. You
Why?
wanted to-
Why did you just bring that up? I'm eating my ice cream.
we had a whole argument about
And
hot dogs
I will have
later.
well
Later in
in the
this
trip. It was the next day, I think.
No, it was.
Yeah, it was at
the
Animal
last
Kingdom.
day.
No, it wasn't.
It was the last.
When you got me the hot dog that I
That's
didn't want,
right.
it was Animal Kingdom.
You
it was
said
the next day.
you wanted. Well, I guess we'll have to talk about this on our
Okay,
next
I will. I
episode.
just feel odd because I never liked hot dogs. As a kid, I did not like hot dogs. It has only been in the last like year since my 5-year-old has become a fan of hot dogs. And not like, but I don't like Oscar Mayer hot dogs. Those give me bad feelings. They're gross. Costco? That's good. It's a weird thing. It's not like I eat them all the time, but I'm like, hot dog sounds good. So I'm eating my ice cream earlier in the day on Sunset Boulevard, and I'm seeing these people, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is such a good hot dog. And it looks like a gourmet hot dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, that looks good. I did not get it.
No, you didn't.
I didn't get it. And
It was a place
was at
right
the
on
end.
the corner on Sunset Boulevard next to Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that little stand there, they had these. It was like they had like a baked macaroni and cheese hot dog or like this garlic hot dog. And,
They had a garlic hot dog.
I think it was. I don't know. I can't remember. But I just saw someone eating a hot dog with a fork, and it had macaroni and cheese all over it.
Sounds so gross, but at the time, I was like, I want that. I don't know what's happened to me, but I didn't get it. But
No, you didn't. You got an Oscar Mayer hot dog the next day.
that
we were
I
trying to save money.
I didn't
Our
realize.
fridge had broke.
I didn't realize what it was when I said to you, "Yeah, sure, let's just do that." And then
We
I
got
had
Kids
to like
Meals,
choke
and we
it
got-
down.
We got Kids Meals hot dogs for everybody,
Ugh, it
all
like
around.
seriously makes me like sick to my stomach. Oscar, it's just gross.
It wasn't that bad. I've had worse.
I have bad memories associated to Oscar Mayer hot dog.
So,
Anyways,
but yeah, so that was Hollywood Studios' first day. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it had some cool parts to it. I wanted to go into they also have Star Wars Launch Bay,
Right, I saw that.
which is back in the corner to the left, no, to the right of Chinese theater.
Yeah.
As you go towards,
It's like the Little Mermaid
Story.
show was there.
yeah, and apparently they have stuff good like merchandise. I didn't go in there because whenever I could, I had the baby in the stroller, and you can't take strollers in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's not opened yet in Disneyland. It's been closed. They haven't opened it up since COVID.
Oh, but we've been in the Star Wars
I've been
lounge,
in
right?
it, but they have like the good Star Wars merch. there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go in there, but I never got a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good.
Better second day.
Better second day.
And
I mean, we went in knowing that Disney World has longer waits than Disneyland.
we did.
Yeah.
Into the second day?
Well, just going in general.
Yeah, I guess
Going in
we were looking at the app weeks, like every day,
Yeah.
multiple times a day for weeks before our trip, realizing that the wait times were longer.
And we
But
told
I
ourselves,
like when we're there doing it,
yeah.
missing those short 10-minute, 15-minute quick rides.
But we told ourselves we're just happy to be able to do this experience.
Right.
Not a lot of people are able to do these types of things.
Right.
We're thankful that we're able to do it and just enjoy it. Just
Knowing
be
it's
chill.
going to be slower because it's always slower when we have a baby.
Yeah.
So that, slows us down. And so we just wanted to like enjoy what we could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
then went back, went to bed. Next day was Animal Kingdom.
Next day was Animal Kingdom. So I think we should probably stop there and get our dessert on,
Yeah.
because our last Magic Kingdom, that was a long episode. And we were very tired. We ended up not going to bed until actually close to midnight.
I didn't. Well, then she woke up,
That's
so
what I mean,
I didn't
yeah.
go to bed till like almost 1 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, because she woke up right when we got done, and I tried to get her back to sleep, and that didn't happen.
No,
and
so
all that. So
yeah.
it's dessert time.
Time to take
So
out
yeah, so we will continue on with our trip to Disney World to day 3, which was Animal Kingdom, which was a very good day,
It was.
as opposed for the hot dogs at the end of the day.
Yeah, a few disappointments, some meltdowns from the 5-year-old, but overall, a really great day.
Flight of Passage, one of the most amazing things I have ever experienced outside of
Yes.
Rise of Resistance.
That's a shush. Then I'm gonna start talking about it, but that's next
I know.
episode.
It was like, whoa.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So
That was it.
that was it. We're going on to day 3, Animal Kingdom.